in here again. I can't call my mom and dad. They just bailed me out. I said, who can I call? I'm walking around. I'm going to call my mom. Mama Bear kicked me out. She ain't going to leave her son in here like that. And I call my mom, and you can hear Dad in the back. Hang up the phone. You know, he ain't doing it again. I'm like, no, please, I'm change. I'm not going to do it again, please. You know, they leave me in there for a little bit. And I go back into the cold, white cell. I didn't know it, but that's where God would speak to me at. I was in the belly of the whale. When you run from God, God will swallow you up. He would really swallow me up. So every time I was in jail, I always knew I was in the belly of the whale. So I remember crying out to God, God, you have to change me. And I can't do this because I don't know. You know, my parents did the best they did to raise me. They had 5 kids. And I knew there was something different about me. I remember partying and never being satisfied with drugs. And I still remember going out when I was 15 at a party, everyone's drinking, I'm looking up and I'm like, God, there's something more to this because this party's going to end, this alcohol is going to end, and I'm going to have to seek it all over again. You are the only one that can satisfy me. So, God delivered me. And you know how He did it? With an overdose. I got out of jail, and I was 90 days clean. And I just was hanging home with my brother. This is Punta Gorda. And my little brother was so glad to have me back home. I got my brother off the drugs. He's happy. He's funnier now. He's got some meat on his bones. And you know what happened is that I was bored. I wanted to go get high again. And, you know, he was smoking with me, but I got his phone because I didn't have a phone at the time because I was broke. But I got his phone and I memorized the drug dealer's number because it was something like of a friend, I thought. Obviously, it wasn't my friend. He just wanted to use me for drugs. But he saw me calling the guy's number and it broke his heart. He said, Bobo, don't do it. Please don't do it. You don't have to do that. You're good now. And we hugged. And I remember hugging him in the garage. And I could feel his pain and how it affected him. Then I started feeling how it affected my mother, my siblings, my friends, and how sin doesn't affect you, but it affects everyone around you. It was a virus that injected into Adam and Eve, and it's caused wars, and it's caused sicknesses and diseases. It's sin. The wages of sin is death, and the gift of life is eternal. So I was too committed. Even though I had a moment like that, it wasn't powerful enough to take me out of my addiction. Most people would have not said, oh my goodness, that breaks the heart. I was a little bit more reprobate, the scripture we talked about this morning. So this is how God used it. I get to the guy's place, and I was really committed to get a little, just a pain pill. He says, I don't have pain pills, I have heroin. Now keep in mind, I never tried heroin at the time. It was my first time ever trying it. And I put it on the place, about to go ahead and do it, and the girl knew me, grew up with me, said, Bo, I don't think you should do that. God can even use an addict to try to stop you and save your life. You know, even though they might not seem like believers, He'll use stuff like that. But pride and arrogant, nothing can ever take me down. Boom. Put it in my arm, dead. My so-called friends, they had to drag me out because they were so scared. They called